Thank you for tuning in and welcome back, team. In today's episode of Real Estate Frequently Asked Questions, you'll learn about buying a house sight unseen. My name is Andrew Finney, your real estate geek. If you need help finding a top agent where you live, or if you simply want to drop me a line and say hello, my contact info is below. If you haven't already done so, please go ahead and subscribe to this channel now and like this video. For reference, I upload 6 days a week, so be sure to tap the bell icon and you'll get the very next video delivered right to your inbox. Okay, so let's talk about this, team. What is buying a house sight unseen? Well, it's actually just what it sounds like. If you're moving from out of state, and sometimes people even do this if they live in a big city or they're moving from one city to another city in the same state, they'll actually buy a house without ever physically stepping into the house first until the day that they get the keys and they've closed on their new home. So buying a house sight unseen does come with different pros and cons. So I'm going to give you 6 tips in today's episode that you'll know and you'll be able to use right away if you're considering buying a house sight unseen. Sometimes it just makes a lot of sense, and it's very helpful to people to know about this option if they're moving from one state to the next, and maybe just getting out there and going house hunting isn't just in the cards for them right away. Okay, so let's look at it. Shop around. The first one is actually shopping around online a lot. And I mean a lot, right? So whenever you're looking through your pictures, you know, when you're in home shopping mode, you're probably already using the internet, you're looking at a whole bunch of homes. Well, do it even more. I mean, figure out what the school districts look like. Bust out Google Earth, start looking at the different things in that city and in around the area, where are the parks, where are the schools, where's the shopping, and start looking at where the right spot is for you. Go ahead and get on the street view. Google makes it really easy, as though you were walking through the community itself. Go ahead and do that whenever you're shopping around on a house and you find those handful of homes that you really love. You can also use other great sites like from a trusted real estate advisor that's going to simplify the process and even give you more information. Like, for instance, on my website, andrewfinneyteam.com, I actually make the crime maps available to people because it's a common question. You know, what's the crime in the area? Is this a good area? Is this a safe neighborhood? And everything else. Well, as a trusted real estate advisor, I can't legally or ethically answer what a good neighborhood is. It's called steering. So I provide the tools to make it available for them to make that decision and help them in making the best and most well-informed decision for them. Okay, that brings us to the second point. Find a real estate agent that you trust. It really is important. And if you haven't watched it yet, you might want to go back and check out the video that I made about picking a real estate agent. Of course, you have me if you want me to help you find a top agent. Always happy to help. But you do want to find a real estate agent you trust. You got to be able to have comfort with the agent that you're working with, knowing that they're telling you the truth and they're not just trying to make a sale off of you. You want the agent that's listening to you, what's most important to you. I mean, if you say schools are important, then that agent should be providing maybe like a link to greatschools.org, let you see what other people, how those schools are stacking up and rating. Maybe they should be sending you demographic reports so you can see and get a better idea of what's going on in the community and who lives in the community and what type of income are going to the schools through the property tax. If you want to check that out and those things are important, then you should know that, right? And you should have an agent that you can rely on and trust. You should have that agent that whenever you contact them, whether it's a call, text message, email, FaceTime, Skype, whatever, is down and ready to go and ready to answer your questions. And if for some reason you miss them, they are the agent that always contacts you back. Something to think about. Okay, so the third thing is taking a video tour. Now, I do have several different families I'm working with right now here in Las Vegas, Nevada, that are moving from out of state. And when we talk about the sight unseen option, some of them were like, well, you know, I guess I could just look at the pictures and buy the house. I said, well, hold up. Why don't we take it one step further so you can get as real of a feel as you can by doing a video tour? And they say, well, how do we do that? And I said, well, do you have Facebook? And they're, yeah, of course I got Facebook. I was like, well, there's this nice little feature called FaceTime. Why don't we set a time and I can get the seller's permission to FaceTime their home, set a time that's going to be convenient to your schedule and the seller's schedule, go over there and actually walk the house as though you were walking it with me, but through the lens of a camera, and I can answer any questions that you have in specific. Now, if you set up a video tour whenever you're buying a house sight unseen, you'll probably be really impressed and shocked, for that matter, just how true to form that thing is going to be whenever you actually get there and you close, you get the keys on your new home, you're like, yeah, it looked like the pictures and looked just like the video, because it puts a different dimension and adds a different layer to our human perception when we're looking, even though it's still on a camera, you're seeing it in a three-dimensional, real-time, real-life format, and you're seeing any small things, big things, and things that you may not have thought to ask from the pictures, you can ask from the video whenever you're there with your agent. So in experience and in practice, that has been very, very helpful to a lot of people to be able to FaceTime. It's something that you might want to talk about. If FaceTiming is not your thing, maybe you want to use a Skype application or some other application that allows for video, real-time video over the phone. Okay, something to think about there. So the fourth one is, if possible, have a friend check it out. Let's say that you have a friend or family member that lives nearby to where you wanna buy. If they're available, that's another really good option. Tie that into the power of a FaceTime, and now you have your friend or family member's perception and sharing their thought process with you, along with your own video tour going on with your real estate agent that better assist you in making sure that it's going to be right for you. So, I mean, having your friend there would be phenomenal, friend or family, if it's possible. So if you have one, go ahead and take them up on that. The fifth one is to have a top-notch home inspector. So likely, if obviously you're working with a trusted real estate advisor, you like them, you trust them, you respect them, and they respect and trust in you as well, then you might just want to ask them for a solid recommendation. Now, if you're going to do some homework on your own and find the home inspector that best fits your needs based upon online ratings and reviews and stuff, that's cool too. Just be sure you let your trusted real estate advisor know right away, so then when you enter the closing process, they can go ahead and get in touch with that home inspector and get it ordered for you so it's done. But having a top-notch home inspector is going to be critical. Most home inspectors have a 1,600-point home inspection checklist they're going to go over. So that's a lot of stuff they're taking a look at. But let's say that the house maybe has an unusual air conditioning unit or something. You might want to make sure that if it has an unusual air conditioning, that it works and it's at the time of the inspection, everything is working great. The same thing with the furnace, or maybe it has a pool. Get a home inspector that can explain that, and a good home inspector will take time to answer any questions in the home inspection report directly with you. You guys can set up a time to talk and answer those questions, and you can ask your questions directly of the home inspector, and they're happy to help answer them and what they were thinking whenever they made those comments about certain areas in the home inspection report. Now the sixth tip is actually accepting that some small things may not be perfect. I mean, whenever you're walking through a house on video and photography, right, if it has like a settling crack, depending on the size of the settling crack, it may not be immediately noticeable. Or if maybe they did a touch-up paint where they maybe had a painting or something and it was really really close in color, sometimes that stuff is very difficult even for a discerning eye to pick up, depending on the lighting of the house whenever it was viewed, and it might be a little bit harder to see and even on video camera, right? So the important thing is that maybe not everything is 100%, but it should be like 98 to 99% the same. The small things may or may not be perfect. I mean, the grass may not be quite as green as it was the day it was shot, right? I mean, just my version of a joke, I guess, but it's the truth. So if you have that mindset that if you're buying a home sight unseen and you've done the video, the FaceTime video, and especially if you had friends and family that were able to give you another set of eyes, the home inspection report and everything, and you've done your job as far as shopping around online, getting to know the area, using Google for all it's worth on Google Maps, Street View and everything, then it should be a really easy transition for you, and it's something that's going to work. Now, of course, to make this all work together, for your trusted real estate advisor, you're going to need a tech-savvy agent that can help you out with that. That's a whole different side point for another topic, another day. Now, as far as today is concerned, and this video is concerned, tell me what you're thinking about it in the comment section below. Which one of these 6 tips were the most impactful to you? And which tip will you use the next time you consider buying a house sight unseen? Tell us about it in the comment section below, along with any of you that have already bought a house sight unseen. Tell us about your experiences, what worked well for you, what didn't work well for you, and what advice you would give to others that are considering writing an offer and buying a house sight unseen in the comment section below. Thanks so much. Now I'm going to go ahead and pop up my contact information. If you need help finding a top agent where you live, or if you simply want to drop me a line and say hello, I always love to hear from you. Please let me know. And as always, if you haven't already done so, I'm going to ask you to do 3 things. Number 1, please go ahead and subscribe to this channel. Number 2, please like this video. Number 3, please share this video around with someone you know it's going to be able to help, because I'm sure right now you can think of just one other person that could really benefit from this video today. Please share it with them. Thank you. In between now and next time, I'm wishing you and yours a lifetime full of love, wealth, abundance, and happiness. See you soon.